Hey friends, I just wanted to jump on here and talk a little bit about working with moon cycles. So, right now I am launching some oils, some candle intention or candle anointing oils, but I'm also creating the body oils that I make that I don't really talk about, but it seems like this is the time to start getting it out there more. So, the way that this works, it was like this. So I decided, okay, I've got these oils, and usually when I make my oils, I like for them to sell within 6 months of production, right? And that is just to be on the safe side. Now, do they have a longer shelf life? Of course, but I personally set, you know, this I know is good. It's not going to hurt anybody if they use it. And so I either use avocado oil or olive oil to make the oils that I deem to be put on your body. But I also use avocado oil or olive oil to make the candle anointing oils. And because the candle anointing oils are past the 6 month time, um, I wouldn't sell those for people to put on their body, just because of bacterias and things like that. So I have these oils that I really want to use for candle anointing and ritual use. So what I did was, okay, I said, okay, it's time, let's do this. I went and bought the vials. I knew the dark moon of Gemini was coming up. Gemini represents communications. And so it was really important that to me, that these bottles be put out and cleansed under the dark moon of Gemini, because you're going to be having a conversation with the substance that's in that oil. So I put the vials in the basket, set it outside for the 24 hours of the dark moon. In my backyard. That's the great thing about having my neighbors when I'm outside doing shit. They don't care. They don't ask. So they're great neighbors. So then I brought that in, and so now those bottles are cleansed and ready to go with that intention of communication. That it was also important to put them underneath the dark moon because those bottles were in the void. So those bottles are going to be open to the best way to communicate to the person who will be using them in the future. So now we've just had the full moon in Capricorn. And Capricorn is that sign of work. Capricorn is initiating something new. And so in this full moon energy, I started to fill the bottles. But I also took the dried flowers, dried herbs that I use to infuse the oils for the other oils that we put on our body to start their journey. And because it's summer, right? And so this is the time that I usually make oils. Does it always fall does it always fall on moons? Actually, yes. Usually I do work with moon energies. I mean, I do. And if I'm not working with the moon energy, then I'm definitely working with some sort of astrological cycle that I know that's happening in the sky. Now, honestly, I have the privilege and time to do that. This isn't something to be like, you should definitely, but to me, it doesn't hurt. Okay. So, and right now, like I'm making this in a Mercury retrograde period, right? So someone might say, well, you shouldn't be talking about this, but that's not how I read it. So, um, actually, this would be a perfect example to how to use Mercury retrograde because I'm explaining a process that I do. And it's so that makes sense to me. So anyway, so during the full moon, I was putting the oils in the jars or the dried materials in the jars, filling it the oils. They then went outside to be in their place of warmth so they can infuse those oils. And then when they're ready, I'll bring them back out. And then with the candle anointing oils, they were being put in their vials. I thought that was a good time to use the full moon of Capricorn because Capricorn is work. Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, which is boundaries. Um, it is also that place where Capricorn is a great sign because the way it works is working with spirituality and earth at that same time. And it's cardinal, so it's about initiating, starting something new. So if you wanted to bring in a new energy, right? But if you thought it was time to get an old energy out, right? So that would be working with that full moon energy. And when we work with the full moon, it is that idea of it is when we are our most psychic, right? That's when things are illuminated. And it's that beautiful time when the sun and the moon are in that equal balance, that stasis of being together but apart, right? And so that's that our masculine and feminine looking at each other. Okay, we see things pretty clearly now because you're over there looking and I'm over here looking. Say, what do we see? Okay, but it's that beautiful time of seeing things and receiving for sure before we go into the waning moon stage. So that is how I work with the moon cycles. I just thought I'd give you guys a little bit insight on that. The rose oil and jasmine oil and gardenia oils are all being in there, are starting to infuse, so they'll be ready in about 6 weeks or so. But the candle anointing oils are ready now. So I'm going to get those together. I'll probably make some posts on Instagram about it if you guys have any questions, because they'll be put up on the Seasons and Ritual website. If you guys have any questions about it, please drop them below in the comments. And I will see you guys soon. It is Wednesday, so it's the middle of the week. So I hope you guys are having a good week. And I hope you guys do have a happy 4th of July. I honestly don't know when this is going to be put out, but hopefully before the 4th of July. So till then.